I ain't gonna lie. I've been holding a lot of shit in lately. Oh, man, I just had like a 3.5.
Diddy has finally broken his silence as sexual assault allegations continue to mount, with a fourth accuser filing a lawsuit claiming he and his associates trafficked and gang assaulted her when she was just 17, according to newly released court.
They own Rick Ross there too. You Rose, you folded over. You still paying the gangster disciples, I know.
In response to the growing allegations against Diddy, 50 Cent has announced that all proceeds from his upcoming documentary will go towards supporting victims of sexual assault. He didn't stop there. 50 also called out Rick Ross, Diddy's longtime friend, hinting that Ross should be investigated as well. GD, they think Rick Ross too. You, Rose, you folded over. You're still paying against the disciples. I know one of them is related to me.
Criminal trial in New York City. He has been found guilty, although it's a split verdict. Guilty on only 2 counts.
Rumors are now swirling about both Diddy and Ross being involved in disturbing activities, which 50 Cent plans to expose in full. The latest lawsuit against Diddy includes a trigger warning due to graphic claims, echoing Cassie's previous allegations, and even contains photos of Diddy with the alleged underage victim. Legal experts believe criminal charges could be next. But Diddy vows to fight back.
Cassie, she claims that her and Diddy had freak-off sessions where they would get a male
You
prostitute.
talking about the freak-off session where they used to do in the studio and all of that over different entertainers' houses and stuff? Where they be having them parties where they won't invite you to? And they be like, we having a party tonight, but this ain't your kind of party. You be like, yeah, I ain't going. I don't want to go. Freak-off parties, when you go in there and it be, yo, let me tell you something. We used to go in the club. We go into the nightclub, right? And we go and get to the VIP. All of these girls come around the VIP and they just be standing there. And like, let me tell you something, man. I'm going to get back with you. We got to rewind this back. We used to go to when we go to the club, we used to have these bottles, right? And on this bottle, they be regular Moet bottles. On them bottles right there, they've been to have something to make the girls be real slippery and all of this kind of stuff. So when you get up, they be like, don't touch them bottles right there and only drink them bottles right there. So we already knew what the drill was.
Diddy seems to be following a similar playbook to R. Kelly, portraying himself as the victim while casting his accusers as greedy liars. But given how things ended for R. Kelly, it's unclear if this tactic will help Diddy, or only make things worse in the public eye.
Some chill demons is what I get. That was
Unsettling, with the alleged victim identified as Jane Doe claiming she was trafficked and assaulted when she was only 17. She accuses Diddy, his associate Harpierre, and a third-person pseudonym of heinous.
Force any woman to do anything. It should be like the Arab countries. They just start cutting shit off, to be totally honest, of that man. Any man that forces any woman to do anything, they should treat them like they treat them in the Arab countries and just start cutting shit off. From their fingers to their hands to their feet to their genitals to their head. You know what I'm saying? So now, another thing of it is that how low do you have to be when you're going to put somebody on a jet and fly them all the way to New York to the studio? To me, bro, to be totally honest, it sounds kind of fishy to me. I can't, and then it came from Harpierre. The Harpierre I knew back in them days was a cornball that did everything Puff said. You know what I mean? Like he was one of Diddy's highest dick riders. That's some real thirsty, desperate for them to fly a 17-year-old girl, you know, on a G5. They was flying G5 and G4 jets back then. All the way to New York to gang rep her in the studio. Man, I wish I could give them their punishment, if that's true.
Yeah, that's what she said, man. She said that Diddy, he flew her to New York, took her to the studio, gave her drugs and game. And there's pictures online too. So she was at his studio, Daddy House. So I mean, she ain't lying about that. She was there, man.
Well, if anything, at that time, if anything came from Detroit, it was one of Puff A&R. They called him Slam. He was from Detroit. He used to set up everything, for Diddy. The time I told y'all about Diddy getting the fellatio when Jennifer Lopez was upstairs, Slam set that up. You know what I mean? So if it came from Detroit, it probably came from Slam. Because he was another one of the dudes that was a flunky around there. But it's crazy, man. I really don't. I got daughters, man. I have words. I don't have words for that, bro. And I don't know any of the guys who were officers that worked for Bad Boy like myself would allow that shit to happen. They wouldn't allow that shit to go down. Pup and them, they know what to do with certain people around. You understand? When they got those dudes who was, from the hood and they was doing bodyguard work and they was doing stuff like that, they may, but I don't know any of the officers that I knew that was working for Puff would allow them.
Jane Doe met Harpier at a lounge in Detroit, where he claimed to be Diddy's best friend. She was allegedly persuaded to join them on a private jet to Diddy's New York studio. What followed was a harrowing series of events involving drugs, alcohol, and sexual assault. Jane Doe claims she was assaulted by Pierre, a third unidentified individual, and then Diddy, who at one point allegedly sat and watched as the others assaulted her, even encouraging them. The lawsuit includes explicit and disturbing details, painting a chilling picture of exploitation and abuse by those in power.
And she has to prove it by saying this. She has to she cannot come out and say that this happened to her 20 years ago and she never told nobody else. Or she never tried to do something, about it. She had to tell somebody 20 years ago, when I was there, they did this to me. She had to write it in a diary or something like that, and she has to prove to the courts that this actually happened to her.
Right. Are you familiar with Daddy House?
Am I familiar with it? Am I familiar with it? Yeah. 44 between Broad, was it 8th, 7th and 8th? Yeah, between, I think, 8th. 8th is going, that way is going down. Between 7th and 8th. Yeah, I'm familiar with Daddy House. Yep.
Was he known for having relations with females at his studio? Did you know about it?
It never happened on I never seen him work. I never seen him mess with anybody on my watch at Daddy House. It was always business. When I went to Daddy House with Puff, it was always business. You know what I'm saying? We'll be coming from a club or something like that. He wanted to check on the artist. He wanted to check on the song and stuff like that. Or he'll have Ms. Lopez come over. Or he'll be checking on some music or whatever like that in the studio. It was always business when I was over there with him. No, now sometimes you get the groupies and the girls come up in there and stuff like that. But Puff never did none of that.
Victims who come forward years later. Jane Doe has provided evidence from the night of the alleged assault, including photos showing her at just 17, one with her sitting on Diddy's lap. Former bodyguard Gene Deal offered a scathing assessment of the disturbing allegations now facing Diddy.
He didn't want her to know who they were. So if she ever wanted to do what she just did, how does she say how the person looked? All she could describe is if they was wearing masks, unless she saw them before they put the mask on. It's craziness, man. And you know what's so crazy is, bruh, that all these stories has been around.
The officers I knew working for Puff would have never allowed any of that to happen, Gene Deal said, adding that Diddy always seemed a bit cautious and uneasy whenever he was around.
She was under a non-disclosure and everything like that. She told her friend she couldn't take it no more because she had seen this dude do something. I've heard plenty of stories about him being on a yacht. That same yacht that Kim was on, and the same yacht she got her nose broken on that somebody was doing something to him when they walked in the room, and it caused a confrontation. This is what somebody who was on the yacht said to me. You understand? They was telling that story to somebody. And it was a female. But my whole thing about it was this, is that anything in that lawsuit, you got to realize that we only got a portion of it.
To the lawsuit on Instagram, strongly denying the allegations and accusing the accusers of chasing a quick payday. He vowed to defend his name, protect his family, and fight for what he claims is the truth. What's your take?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Pick that up. I want to know about this. So I put it on speaker. Yeah. Picked it up. I say, who is this? It's Sean. I'm like, Sean? It's Puff. I'm like, oh, what's good? You talking low like that? Talking low. So I was like, hey, what's good? I said, what's cracking? He said, we didn't see you tonight at the BET Awards. We didn't see you tonight. He said,
he checking in.
He said, what you doing? I was like, oh man, I'm at the crib. He said, oh yeah, we over here at the he said, I'm over here at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I said, oh, for real? So who over there? I was like experiencing, phone calls, I'm getting movie offers, and
right?
All these things that's kind of happening. And one day I got a phone call, unknown number. I answered it, and it was Diddy. And I was like, fanboyed out. Like, what? He's like, man, I'm a big fan, man. You killed that movie, boo, boo. Hey, I heard you coming to New York next week to do 106 Park. Hey, pull up at the Sandra store. You can get whatever you want. Like, boom, go out there, go up there, look fresh, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Diddy's looking out for me, man. I never met him when I got to New York. I just went to the Sandra store, and they was like, opened up the gates for me. I geared up, boom, boom, boom. Never met him when I was there for those couple days. Then, that was January. February, because Stomp came out January 17, 2007. So February was All-Star in Vegas that year, 2007. Never forget it. So went to the All-Star game. It's crazy. And then my boys, my partners, they roll with Diddy tough. They was like, the band for Bad Boy for a long time. They're like, hey man, Diddy said you can come to the Palms. He's having an after party. He said, I'm over here at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I said, oh, for real? So who over there? Just me. What? Come on, man. That man ain't said, you serious? He said, just me. So my wife, I'm over here on the suspect list. What the hell? I'm like, nah, man, I'm in bed, bro. I'm good. He's like, and just hung up.
But did he ever give you sign? Did you ever give him any sign, any reason?
No, nothing whatsoever. So I'm like, man. But now I got smoke in my house. So my wife was like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. This man just called me. Like, and I don't know what's going on. So, anyway, people, when I posted that on IG, people was like, the comments was like, but did you go? Because I left it. You did. They was like,
right. You did leave it like in limbo.
And I'm like, oh, I got to respond to this. But I was like, the only way people really listen is if you say, they listen to Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle say some shit they know is fact. I was like, hell no, I didn't go. It's crazy. It's ridiculous what I look like going to a grown man's hotel room in the middle of the night. It's ridiculous. Anything's possible with this man. Like Kevin Garnett winning the NBA championships, anything's possible. I wasn't playing those games with P. Diddy that night. It could have changed everything.
Damn, man.
So you were not surprised when all of this came out in the open at all?
No, I wasn't, because I have, as I gotten further deeper into the game,
to Instagram to honor his late ex, Kim Porter, on what would have been her 51st birthday, marking 5 years since her tragic passing. Despite ongoing public backlash over multiple sexual assault lawsuits, the 54-year-old music mogul posted a heartfelt photo of himself kissing Porter on the cheek, writing, "We miss you so much, Kim. Happy birthday, beautiful. Love forever." The post garnered nearly 80,000 likes within a day, though comments were disabled. He also shared several throwback photos on his Instagram stories. Still, long-standing rumors persist that Diddy may have been involved in her death, allegedly, silencing her before she could reveal damaging secrets. Something Cassie ultimately... The situation surrounding Diddy continues to escalate, echoing the R. Kelly case and raising serious questions about the effectiveness of adopting a similar public defense strategy. While Diddy continues to deny all allegations, it remains to be seen whether this approach will influence public opinion, or if it will backfire entirely. Most recently, music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a lawsuit against Sean Combs, accusing him of sexual assault and coercion into sexual encounters with sex workers. This marks the 5th sexual assault-related lawsuit against the music mogul. According to the complaint, the alleged abuse occurred while Jones was working on Diddy's latest album. He claims he was subjected to unwanted groping, sexual touching, and eventually drugged, waking up naked and disoriented in bed with 2 sex workers and Diddy. Filed in a New York court, the lawsuit also alleges that Diddy engaged in illegal activities and attempted to groom Jones to be passed off to others in his circle. In response, Diddy's attorney, Sean Hawley, issued a forceful denial, calling the claims pure fiction and insisting they have overwhelming, indisputable proof that Jones's allegations are false. Hawley promised to confront the outlandish lawsuit in court and pursue appropriate legal action against those spreading falsehoods. Still, the case continues to grow more disturbing by the day. I've heard stories, but I never saw anything firsthand, Storm and Rowe said, adding that Diddy appears to have many more male victims, suggesting the allegations may be far wider than known.